The French launching airstrikes against ISIS targets in Syria over the weekend. This, of course, in response to Friday's horrific terror attack in Paris. What kind of response is needed now from the world? Let's bring in former Supreme Allied Commander at NATO, Admiral James Stavridis. He's also the Dean for the Fletcher School at Tufts University. Admiral, thanks so much for being here with us. Do you have a sense of what the impact of the French air campaign against Raqqa has been thus far?
I think it's symbolic and a start. It will certainly degrade and kind of push the Islamic State out of their planning mode and put them into crouching and survival mode. But there's a lot more to be done. Perhaps the more significant strikes were the U.S. airstrikes against the oil trucks that are carrying fuel, which is the money for the Islamic State. We're going to need to go after both military and economic targets to really begin to choke off the Islamic State.
President Hollande, as you've heard, promised retaliation that would be merciless. What would that look like, do you think, Admiral?
I think what France should do is go to NATO and invoke what is called Article 5 of the NATO Treaty, which states that an attack on one nation is regarded as an attack on all the nations. If they do that, that opens the door for a NATO campaign against the Islamic State. That would amp up significantly the level of strikes. It would include more special operations, more intelligence, more trainers, boots on the ground, not 150,000, but say 15,000, to stiffen the land force, the Kurds, the Iraqi security forces. Over time, it would unlock the Turkish army, second largest in NATO, because we are going to have to do this ultimately on the ground in Syria.